afternoon. Excuse me, this is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, August the 1st, 2018. And I'm sure you've been looking at the planet and how things have been processing and going, and we can see changes taking effect. Sometimes in our meditations, when we release those energies, it takes time to get seated and to start acting aggressively. And things will, as time goes by, things will change quite a bit. Fires and the disharmony on the planet that has been taking place, that is shrinking every single second, is retreating, disintegrating. And we look at the effects that are taking place, and we look at how we desire or want the type of, or the existence, I guess you could call it, our life that we would like to have here on planet Earth. And it's nothing like what is here today. There's no comparison to where we will be compared to where we are at today. The importance of that is to see through your heart and your mind what you wish to be, what you want to be, the things that you want, the type of life that you would like to have. And looking at the way things have always been, I mean, everybody on this call, at least in this life, weren't around 400 million years ago. They weren't around 500 million years ago. Not in this life. Not with memory. So there are so many stories, so many things that have been written throughout the ages. And people become so confused because you just don't know what is truth, what is real, and what is false. And to navigate that, when you look upon the facts of creation and you realize that our Creator, which we all look at as, how we were created, there's so much historical information on different applications on how, Homo sapiens were created, how humanity was created. It gets very confusing. The Bhagavad Gita has its stories. The Quran has its stories. The Bible has its stories. The different books, the different writings are ancient, and then the many that the Vatican holds in secret that many people have never had access to. So there's so many bits of information that you really have to use your own discretion to determine. And remember, the books that you come across have been written by, most cases, humanity. So someone wrote it in their perspective and their point of view. Now understand that in most cases nobody was there at the time writing and depicting the activities that were taking place. Now understand that we are, as a whole, as a family, Lightworkers and Light Warriors, we can direct this present time, not the past, not the future, but right now, we can literally enact a new life. We can create it out of thin air. That may sound, reaching or stretching, but it's very true. And you can vibrate with that and know it to be true. And people say, well, how do we do that? Well, we are leaving what third dimension created. We're leaving it. We are no longer participating in it. We are advancing. The reason we are advancing is because our vibrational frequencies are accelerating. You get in a habit, in a good habit, and the good habit is to fuel and to increase your vibrational frequency and be cognizant to the fact that anything that brings you down, you stay away from. You don't engage. No matter how tempting the engagement is, you do not engage. You leave it alone. Period. And at first it's very difficult because we're in the habit of engaging in three-dimensional activity. We all are. We're trained like lab rats to do certain things, to respond to certain things, to take action on certain things, and to view certain things and do certain and go certain ways. But it's all controlled, and I know that a lot of you feel that. You feel that it's controlled. You can sense it almost. It's like you can sense it. That we're being suppressed, we're being controlled, we're being guided, we're being directed, and we're being misinformed, misdirected, not collectively knowing the truth. And we swim around in this one pond forever. And we get to the point after so many years of swimming in that pond, we know every aspect of the pond. We know how deep it is. We know how, what the temperature is. We know the food sources. We know everything. But we've been swimming around in that pond forever. You think about that. And there's no way to get out of the pond, all right? Because it's too high. The banks are way too high to get out of the pond. So we stay in the pond. And to leave it, we are catapulting ourselves out. We are no longer engaging in the lower dimensional frequencies. And I'm telling you, most of the things that have happened in our lives are low dimensional frequencies. At times when you feel good and you feel enlightened, those are higher frequencies. But I'm sure all of you can agree, those are not the majority. They're not the majority of energies. Most of the energies that we deal with on an everyday life cycle is the challenges of lack of stress, fear, worry, irritability, depression. Those things they're sprinkled in, okay? And I'm not saying 24/7, but I'm saying they're there. And we are guided and directed and manipulated into that direction, constantly being glued down and forced in ways, frequency-wise, to stay down, period. Now, that's why so many people have, low self-esteem, low confidence, questioning, guilt, many things that they don't share with anybody, they keep to themselves. And a lot of people aren't even aware of that they have those. They aren't even aware that they have those character traits. They go through life and they don't know that their self-esteem or their confidence is low. So when you realize, and after all these meditations we've been doing, you realize that they are training everyone to enlighten and rise up above the low vibrational frequencies. And whether you know it consciously or subconsciously, you have been experiencing little things that are literally lifting you, and more so. At first it was a little bit here, a little bit there, but I know and I sense that the majority of you are feeling it on a more frequent basis of a higher level of vibration, a higher vibrational frequency on a more consistent basis. So, today's meditation is enlightenment, and the enlightenment is for all of us to continue to pursue higher vibrational frequency. It should be in our main view screen in this life, where we are literally looking at ways and identifying ways that lift us from within, then out. It's always from within. So that's part of associating with your higher self and having a real loving relationship with yourself. It's important. And as we go, as we advance here in these meditations, we will become more and more enlightened, more and more open, understanding, loving, caring. Fears will melt away. Anxieties will melt away. Stresses will melt away. All of these those are all low vibrational frequencies. They're not, I mean, if you could picture one of us standing who has achieved this level of vibrational frequency, where they're not fearful, they're not afraid, their confidence is firm and strong, their contentment is firm and strong, their peace and joy is firm and strong. They don't have all of these things. See, we've never been able to see that, to experience that, ever. Where there are others who are that way, and I'm not talking about holy men and holy women. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about humanity. I'm talking about beings of intelligence who exist like we do, who have not found the secret of happiness, which is inside of us. Once we open that up and we open that door, we start increasing we become more and more enlightened. We rise up. So in this meditation, enlightenment, we are going to again consciously raise our vibrational frequency through our heart center. And we're going to share that with all of our brothers and sisters here on the planet. And we're going to contact their higher selves. We're going to raise that vibrational frequency and communicate with their higher selves to communicate to their physical self on the things that should be avoided. Because we've all learned, if you engage in anger, anger is destructive. If you engage in fear, fear is destructive. It is a lower vibrational frequency. These things must be overcome. We must lift ourselves out of these constraints. And that's what they are. They're lab-created constraints for the civilization of planet Earth, for humanity. That's why we're kept down so much. That's why we use rockets instead of anti-gravitic drive, and that's why we aren't traveling to other planets on a daily basis. That's why we're still using archaic forms of transportation on the planet. There's so many things that are there. So in enlightenment, if you will, go to your places where you are not going to be interrupted. You're probably already there. And relax from head to toe. Drop your shoulders, relax the body. Feel loose, flexible, peaceful, quiet. As you do that, you begin to breathe. You breathe in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. You hold it for about 3 seconds. You release it. As you bring it in, you're taking in divine positive energy. You're breathing in higher vibrational frequencies of enlightenment, of happiness, of joy, of bliss. We do this every day. Happiness, joy, bliss, prosperity, abundance, wealth. All of these things should be the norm for every single being, every part of humanity. Every single being. So we're breathing this in and we're enlightening ourselves and we're bringing our vibrational frequency up as we do this. As we breathe in and hold it, as we exhale through the mouth, we are eliminating our lower frequencies that bind us, that pull us down. And you all know what those are because you can identify them. You know what they are. It's not like you have to go to take a course. You know what they are. The pain, the sorrow, the anguish, the stress, the anxiety, the fear, all of these things, the depression, these things are that pull us down and keep us down on a day-to-day basis, some way, shape, form, or another. One of them, two of them, many of them, it just depends on how the day is. Yeah, and we have too few of happiness, joy, bliss, abundance, health, wealth than we are having in third dimension. We should have it every day, all day, in a higher vibrational frequency. That's motivational enough for each and every one of you to strive for this and to identify those things and to negate them. So as you breathe it out, all of those things, the lower vibrational frequencies are being neutralized by the purple transmuting flame and sent off to the central sun, never to return. Now we enter through the heart center. And as we go in through the heart center deep within ourselves, we travel and travel. We start feeling peace and more peace, closer, closer. And then we get to the vortex, which is golden white pink light, purple transmuting flame, flickering, glowing, glittering, reflecting, and filling you, saturating you with eternal love. You look, you see your higher self, you immediately want to join, and you do join with your higher self. You become one. We are all connected and joined with our higher selves. We're all communicating with our higher selves. We then call upon all intelligent beings. We call upon the archangels of love and from love. We call upon the cherubim and seraphim of love and from love. We call upon the ascended masters of love and from love. We call upon the inner earth, hollow earth beings, intelligent civilizations, to join us in these meditations. We call upon all the loved ones who have passed over, of love and from love, all light beings from love and of love, all across the universe. We call upon them to join us in this meditation. We all are encased in a perfect sphere of the golden white pink light of purple transmuting flame. And the only thing that can penetrate that sphere is eternal love. So now, arm in arm, we all float up above the planet. We see the meditative sphere reflecting and glowing, glittering, golden white pink light, purple transmuting flame, vibrating, humming, pulsating, housing all of the meditations that we have set forth in motion, all in perpetual motion. We feel the golden white pink light rain, purple transmuting flames start to descend over our heads, saturating us, infusing us with higher vibrational frequencies. You feel lifted. You feel joy as this moisture starts to saturate you. It's warm, penetrating, it's glittering, and it's saturating you from head to toe. You feel lighthearted, buoyant. And then all of our higher selves start to communicate with all of humanity, all of their higher selves. And they, in turn, identify all of the negative, binding, low energy, heavy, third-dimensional frequencies of those that they are connected with and their bodies, and begin to release them, communicate to them. You don't need them. They are not a good thing to have. We are alleviating ourselves from them. We're all communicating. The rain comes down and saturating all of humanity. All of those who carry third-dimensional energy and vibrational frequency that are gripping it and holding on to it like, wearing old shoes with holes in the soles that don't serve any purpose. They don't do any good, but they create pain and discomfort. So all of this energy is processing, and we are enlightened, and we are rising. Our vibrational frequency is filling us full of joy, happiness, bliss, abundance, prosperity, tremendous amount of energy, reflecting and glowing. You can hear it, literally. And as you feel this vibrational frequency, you cannot ignore it. It's lifting you up. It's like a great burden, a heavy weight of all these things falling off of you. You see them fall, and they dissipate. They vaporize. They're gone. And as you practice this in this meditation, eventually they will be gone for good. You will experience a new life of happiness, joy, bliss, abundance, prosperity, wealth, health, all of it. So visualize through your heart center, through your mind, all of this as we watch, as we transform into higher dimensional light beings. And that's where we're headed. So I join you in the meditation, and I'll be back to close us out.
Hello, I'm Julie Joy of the Young Lightworkers. I'm going to stop the recording during the several moments of silence. Feel free to pause your devices and then rejoin Jared whenever you're comfortable for the wrap-up.
The nice thing about the Enlightenment, which is becoming aware, it's like a bright light flooding where you stand, and everything is being seen much clearer, and you're much more awakened, and you notice much more in detail. You take in much more. You're much more aware. You have much more clarity, and that's what everyone is experiencing amongst those participating in this meditation. And witness and experience and understand that as we introduce this much higher enlightenment and vibrational frequency to humanity in a concentrated way, it accelerates the process. So it helps humanity rise quicker, advance more thoroughly, and to become much more aware and clear. So in other words, a lot of folks being woken up and at a much higher accelerated rate. And, you know, to eliminate the conflict and the aggression and the anger and all of this roughness that goes on with humanity, you begin to look at it and you realize that it is so nonsensical. It isn't. It serves no purpose. That's the point. Anger, aggression, fear, anxiety, manipulation, deception, greed. All of those things serve. They don't serve anything. They don't do any good. They're third dimensional frequencies, vibrational frequencies. We have no need for them at all. And once humanity, as we do this, as this enlightenment meditation has taken effect, and it will continue to intensify, we will realize that you'll start noticing people, it's not necessary. We don't hold that. It doesn't stick to us anymore. Anger, aggression, fear, all of that just doesn't, banging our chests with our ego, look at me, look what I have, look what I own, look what I can do, look at the power I have, look at what I can manipulate. All of that stuff, doesn't serve any purpose. Only serves the I in each participant. Each one that participates in those lower vibrational frequencies, it only serves them. It doesn't do any good for anybody. So that's why we're leaving these frequencies behind. And when I mean leaving, we're leaving. And as we leave them and they drop off, we become more enlightened, more aware, more awake, the happiness starts flowing in. Our blockages are lifted. It's a whole new horizon, an accelerated path as we rise more and more and more. And our light is brighter every step of the way. So So each and every one of you should be, I can sense that I get many emails stating how happy people are becoming to be, part of this. We have new people every day that are coming into these meditations. People are becoming much more aware. There's a lot of good light workers out there that are doing different works, different applications that join the meditation. And we just, things just keep growing, Before long, we'll be at 200,000. And like I said, we'll keep growing and keep advancing, and eventually, we'll hit the level of, millions eventually. So I want to send to all of you a perfect, great health, perfect, great prosperity, perfect, great happiness, perfect, great joy, perfect, great bliss, perfect, great contentment, and in perfect, great enlightenment. And may the Father, creator of all, may the prime source creator God, Father of all creation, bless each and every one of you. We will be back here at 3 p.m. Thursday, August 2nd, 2018.